Hi, welcome to my kitchen. Shelly here, and today I'm going to show you why I love this stainless steel nonstick pan. I can't remember if it's called, I think it's called stainless steel nonstick. And so I just pulled it down. It hangs, you can see how you can hang it. And it is a sandwich construction, which is called clad construction. So the inside is a special inside. The outside is kind of special as well. And the filling, if you will, that goes the entire sides, bottom, all of the sides, is solid aluminum, which is an excellent heat conductor. So let me take the lid off. So first of all, it's a glass lid. The handle doesn't get hot. It's got a nice smooth stainless rim to keep it protected. Okay, so the outside of this is a magnetic stainless. So it works on an induction cooktop if you need it to. So it works on every kind of cooktop. So even if you have the new induction stovetops, this will work on it. The inside is actually a hex. You can see this hex pattern. And so what that is there's enough stainless that's exposed, and you can feel it. It's a bit bumpy. There's enough stainless that's exposed so that it will brown like stink, but it's recessed to protect the non-stick coating, which is a really high-end non-stick coating. It's recessed in there so that it'll release well. So it has this unique ability to get really hot. The pan can get really hot, which when you're using it as a wok or you're using it with veggies, and what I'm going to show you today is just veggies, you want, because there's so much water in it, that it can easily go soggy. And with this pan, because it conducts heat so beautifully, it won't go soggy, but it will brown beautifully. But it releases beautifully. So that's what I want to show you. So I'm going to start heating the pan. And I'm going to put a high heat oil. So this is a grapeseed. A canola is fine as well. Don't use olive oil. It has too low the smoke point. It will make it burn. So I'm just going to basically cover the bottom with a little bit of oil. I think you can see. Yeah. So I don't have the perfectest setup here, but anyways. So I'm going to crank the heat a bit. I think you can see. Yep, you can see. I can hear it. While that's getting ready, I'm gonna do a couple things. So I'm gonna finish off. I have some turnip and I want to roast it. I have not tried this yet. I have the air fryer going over there. Well, I don't have it going, but I'm gonna. So I've cut this into chunks. I'm just gonna finish this. I use the crinkle cutter when I want to brown stuff because there's more surface area to brown with a wavy cut than a straight cut, if you think about it. And so I do want it to brown, and so I just cubed it using that. It looks kind of like mozzarella cheese, doesn't it? And I'm going to put just a little bit of oil, again, whatever favorite oil, and I'm going to use some pink Himalayan salt. Pretty good guess there. And I will grab, I'll just toss it so that I have it, coated in oil, just a little bit, and some salt. So this is an experiment. I've not tried this before. I can feel my pan is starting to get hot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this in the air fryer. It looks like cheese. That's amazing. All right, so single layer. And what I'm going to do is smoke pork chops on the other layer, but I don't think are going to take as long. So I can't show you the inside, but it's basically a little easy bake oven. I put it in on the shelf, close it, spin, air fry, and I'm going to do the full 25 minutes. I don't think it'll need that much. Okay, so here's the part that I want to show you, and I do have people coming to the door shortly, so I'm don't want to put them on the spot. Okay, that's hot. All right, so now you can hear that the pan is hot. I just have some prepped broccoli. So this is about 8 cups worth. I don't want the oil. I have a little bit of water left over. I don't want the water in because the water, I'm going to put a fan on, is going to really splash. So you can see what I'm doing here is I'm making a single layer. shoving it up the sides a little bit. And once I get it there, I'm going to leave it. Don't touch it. And then I'm going to prep a little bit of red onion because it'll sweeten up really nicely. There's a bad spot there. Cut that off. And okay, oh my. Alright. And then you can hear it sizzling away. This is the secret of this pan. And whether you're cooking meat, whether you're doing cauliflower sugar like this, Brussels sprouts, oh my. So the reason I adore this pan is that sizzle and crackle. Can you hear it? Because it'll take the high heat. So right now what it's doing is it's browning my broccoli. When it browns the broccoli, it changes it and it sweetens it and it doesn't stink like cabbage. It just adds this beautiful flavor. And here's my favorite. So you can't really see all of these tools, but I have all the silicone tools in a drawer right here. So bringing you back to my oven or my kitchen layout for a second, the way I've organized this is all of the tools that I use at the stovetop are right here with an easy grab. Okay, so I'm using my nose to help me cook. So, and my ears. So I apologize that it is getting a little loud. But so I'm going to show you this. Bring this over. See, I don't know if you can tell, but it's actually not steaming. This is actually burning, frying. I don't know if that's the right word. So what you're seeing on the underside of this, like right here, if I can chase this, hold on. I will grab. When you're cooking, you're not normally showing somebody else on a camera. Okay, so you can see that it's all brown and crunchy. Okay, so I'm just going to do it again. So I've shifted it in position. You know, you could very carefully make sure that every single one is in a different position and whatever. I don't work that hard. It's a bit too much work. Now here's the thing that I learned from my son Jordan is I can burn this easily right now because there's not a drop of oil left in that pan. So I'm going to put a little bit in. One of the things that he taught me is that you can't burn if you're using oil. And so there's just a little squeeze. I have a squeezy bottle that I use. It's nice and clean. It's actually from the plant where Doug works. And it was not used yet. So I grabbed one. It's such a nice little bottle. So if you can find a little squeezy bottle like that for your oil, do. Okay, you can see that I'm not touching it again. And so what I could do, I think, I didn't put salt in here. So salt is going to help soften it a bit because it's going to draw the water out. I typically over salt. I'm going to turn my heat down just a bit because I have it really high on a big hot burner. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this red onion in here. So at some point I want to go from browning to softening because I want it browned, but I don't want it crunchy hard. I do want it to tenderize, but I don't want to lose that. I don't want to sweat it. Okay, let me show you again what's going on here. Can you see? It's that, there you go. It's like browned, quite brown. That smells so good. Here's another one. Can you see? Again, I don't have light on, but you can see it's instead of green, it's kind of dark brown. So it's going to taste delicious. So I do need to lower my heat just a titchy bit. You can see I'm starting to crowd it now because I want the water to come out. I want to soften it. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit more. And then we're going to cover it. So covering it is, first of all, it's going to quiet it, but also it then helps the steam to stay in and it's going to help soften it. So it's just going to take a few minutes. again, because this pan is conducting heat so beautifully, and it's staying hot everywhere, it's going to be trying to evaporate out the water as it's releasing. So we're kind of we've got this stuff going on, so which is why we can see the water condensing on the glass lid, because the glass lid is not conducting heat as well. So it's actually cooler, so as it hits the lid, it gets cold, it condenses. Hold on. Oh my God. Come on in! Come in! Hold on. Alright, the things you do when you work at home for party guests. So Colleen is just arrived. So I'm just wrapping this up, thankfully, for her sake. You might want to stay out of the way of the camera. I'm doing this for some of my party guests to show them this pan. If you want to come be part of it, Colleen, come on. Just know this. Okay, so can you see? I got some light. You see there's no water in the bottom of the pan. None whatsoever. It is dry. That is why we love this pan. And so it's not quite softened enough. So I'm going to put it just a couple more minutes and then we'll be done. So again, if you're doing ground beef, you're doing stew meat, any kind of meat that you want to brown, this pan does it. And so do wait for that. Like don't be messing with it. Let it just brown in place. Put some oil in there. Just let it sit. And you're going to start to listen and you're going to hear it start to sizzle and crackle, and it's going to get you that depth of flavor that is just beautiful. It's brown, not black. So it's a difference between a really beautifully fried steak versus a grilled steak, which is like more of a char flavor. And so you get that Maillard reaction happening in this pan like crazy. So whether it's vegetables, meat, whatever, you're going to get it. So that's the cool part. Let me just show you before I run the progress. So these are, they're starting to soften and they're starting to brown. How cool. Okay, so these need a little bit more time, and then we're going to put smoked pork chops in, and then I have 2 veggies and my protein and Bob's Red Home. So I hope that helps. If you have questions, ask me.